I am Adamaker, and welcome back to yet another video. So as you all know, I have the greatest opinions ever. Yeah, so this one probably won't ruffle any feathers. I haven't really done a video where I'm just kind of talking about what I like, so I thought I would tell you my top 10 favorite horror films as a way for me to seem a bit more personable, because I'm a person. I'm not a robot in a Power Rangers helmet, of course not. Anyway, here are my top 10 favorite horror films. Actually, I lied. Before I get into my top 10, here are some movies that I really like as well, but are not in my top 10. Orphan, Get Out, It, American Psycho, 30 Days a Night, The Mist, Overlord, Hereditary, Alien, The Shining, The Conjuring, Halloween, The Cabin in the Woods, Candyman, Ready or Not, The Evil Dead, all of them, Dead Silence, It Follows, Insidious, Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. I think you get the idea. I like a lot of movies, so narrowing this down to 10 was quite difficult. One thing I want to note is that I'm naming these in alphabetical order, not my liking of them, just so we're clear. So let's get into it. Number 10, 28 Days Later. Like I said, this is alphabetical, so first up is 28 Days Later. Personally, I think this film is one of the best zombie films ever made. The rage virus is utterly terrifying, and the viciousness of the zombies makes for a nightmare-inducing combination. Cillian Murphy is also really good in the film, and it's also one of my favorite Danny Boyle films. Yes, The Conjuring 2, not 1. I'm sorry. The Conjuring 2 takes what makes the first Conjuring so good, and I think amplifies it to a boiling point to make one of the few times that I have been legit scared by a movie. The nun in this film still haunts my nightmares to this day. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are also great, and James Wan really outdid himself with this one. This one is so you know I'm obscure and like quirky films. No, actually, I think A Cure for Wellness is a fantastic movie and criminally underrated. I know it has gained quite a bit of traction in recent years, which does make me happy. The film is a very creepy and it has a twist ending that made my very Christian mother swear out of confusion. Dane DeHaan is also great in this, and Gore Verbinski really just went all out with the weird, and I think made a great film. I mentioned Hereditary earlier, and I do like that movie, but I think this one's better. Daytime is usually seen as a rest or safe period in a horror film, but Midsommar decided to not abide by those rules and make one of the most disturbing and mind-bending horror films all during the day. This film is unforgiving in its presentation, and I can only commend that. Florence Pugh is fantastic, and Ari Aster just gives another reason to watch what he does in the future. Okay, this one is to show how quirky I am because I like black and white films. In all seriousness, I think this is not just one of the best horror films ever made, but one of the greatest films period ever made. The film took a relatively new concept at the time in zombies and made them horror icons. It was also a leap in representation for African Americans in the lead of Dwayne Jones. He was, I believe, the first African American to star in such a high profile role. Not to mention, this was also directed by George A. Romero, who is one of the greatest to ever hold a camera. I don't really have a fun intro for this one. I just think Oculus is a fantastic movie. It's a great story that could have easily been overly convoluted since the film relies on being told in the past and present, sometimes at the same time. Thankfully, it's easy to follow and understand, and the film just works tremendously. All of that taken with what I think is a fantastic twist ending, it makes a near perfect movie. Karen Gillan and Brendan Thwaites both do a great job in this movie, and Mike Flanagan once again shows what an underrated filmmaker he is. Well, this film aged well. Yeah, so this film may not have aged the greatest, given the advancement of technology and how it's changed since the release, but it's still a great film. The mystery of Samara and the tape is so engaging, and my god, some of those scares are legitimately scary. Ha! It still gets me. Naomi Watts is also a fantastic lead, and watching this makes me wish she'd do more horror. Never mind. Yeah, I'm sure you all want to hear me praise James Wan and Leigh Whannell again, don't you? Okay, I'll make this quick. This movie's great, the mystery of Jigsaw is still engaging even 18 years later, the twist ending is still one of the greatest I've ever seen, as long as you don't think about it too much. It's a shame this movie was tainted by a sequel. Sinister, in my opinion, is one of the greatest horror films ever made. This is another one of those rare films that actually scared me. But Ghoul is a terrifying villain. Ethan Hawke is great. There's a reason why this was Scott Derrickson's breakthrough film. Yeah, so this one's gonna ruffle some people. I know what you're thinking, and I know, yes, it's a remake. But also remember, this is in alphabetical order, so don't take it as me saying it's the best horror film ever. It's a very good one, however, and the fact that it's a remake and is still good is an achievement. Jessica Biel plays an underrated final girl, and the guy who played Leatherface is just great, to put it simply. Kind of a shame this is the only good thing Marcus Nispel ever did. Well, there you have it, my top 10 favorite horror films. It should be mentioned, this list does fluctuate, and it's never set in stone, but this is a good idea of what my 10 favorite films usually are. So that's it. That's the video. Leave your favorite horror films in the comments below, or just tell me that I don't know what a good movie is. You can do that too. Doesn't really matter to me. And I will see you next time.